Hey there, fight friends. We are joined today by the very patient Scout Meyer, an amateur mixed martial artist out of Ontario with a record of 6-1. He is heading down to the Dominican Republic on March the 28th to fight a man named Josue Ventura for the Dominican Fight Club Lightweight Championship. Scout, thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Fight friends, just to let you know that Scout is a very patient young man. I mentioned that already. I've had a whole bunch of technical issues this morning and a time zone mix up. So, the fact that he's still here, I owe him something in the future, a beverage or something, or a pat in the back. I don't know, whatever. I'll get you something. Scout, okay, awesome. So, for the fans who don't know who you are, you're an amateur fighter. You've had a really good career so far at 6-1, like I said. I've had the pleasure of watching you fight in person at least twice, maybe three times, and overall very impressed with your well-rounded skill set. Like I've been doing this for a long time, and it used to be when you watched amateur fighters fight, you could automatically know, oh, that dude's an amateur. He still has a lot to learn. When I watch you fight, you could be a pro now, I think. So just talk about your training, how you got to where you are now, how you first discovered mixed martial arts, what your training started like, and where it is now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Amateurs are getting like a lot better, and I think the pros are getting better, so the amateurs have to get better. It's just the way it's gonna be. If you, as the sport continues, guys are gonna get so much better.
Mhm.
But yeah, I started not too long ago. I first heard about MMA through watching a Conor McGregor Instagram video, and I was like, this looks awesome. So I went to my local gym. I said I wanted to do MMA, wanted to be champion of the world. And they were like, wow, slow down. Maybe we'll get you a kickboxing match. So started with kickboxing. I did that for, I think, like a year and a half before I transitioned to MMA. And had my first fight, did really well. And then had my second fight, and I lost that fight to Dima.
Mhm.
And that's where I met Thicc Boy. So I've now moved to the city, and I'm training with them, getting better every day.
Yeah, Dimitro's that, you don't need to be upset about losing to him. He's an excellent fighter. And he, like you said, he introduced you to Thicc Boy. Talk about Thicc Boy Fight Club and the Thicc Boy gang and what it's like being a part of that team, because you guys are very cohesive.
Yeah, it's great. I love the team. Everyone on the team's great. We're all, always letting each other know what we can do to improve. Helping guys where they struggle and encouraging guys where they're already really good. Some guys are better at grappling or striking, and together as a team, we can make some pretty well-rounded fighters.
Tell us your impressions about Tyson and Boyan as coaches.
Yeah, great coaches. Grappling heavy guys, great top pressure. If you roll with either of them, there's a lot of experience. Everything they do is to set you up. Yeah, great coaches. I've learned so much, and I've only been at Thick Boy for um, just about a year now, and I've learned so much.
Yeah, it's important to have a team that you mesh with. Like sometimes I get people, like friends or family, they ask me for recommendations about what gym to try. And even though me personally, I might have a strong impression and a not so strong impression of certain gyms, I still tell them, try two or three, whatever's around you, because your fit might not be the same as my fit. So it's important to find what you'd like. And I'm happy that you did that.
Yeah, for sure. Thick Boy, we kind of have a boxing wrestling heavy base. I really like Ilya Taporia. Tyson, my coach, really likes Ilya Taporia. I'm trying to like if I'm trying to style after him, and my coach also agrees that that's a good style. It's just a good fit, you know.
Mhm.
Keeping the level low, jabbing, having a good wrestling base. It's just yeah, Thick Boy is the fight system that I like.
Fantastic. Let's move on now to this fight in the Dominican. You're fighting that Josue Ventura. Were you able to find any tape on him?
A little bit, I went through his Instagram. There's some pictures, some clips. Looks like he's got a fast finish, and then some other longer fights ended with a rear naked, I think. Um, yeah, I haven't seen any like full fights, but I've seen some clips. So I have an idea what to expect. I think he's 5'10", so a little bit taller than me, but yeah, but the same.
Yeah, at a certain level, you can only prepare so much for your opponent, but the main focus should be on preparing yourself and just what you can control. And I think that's probably what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm not. Like I have in the past, definitely worked on things that I thought would be good for specific opponents a little bit, but mostly right now for like in the amateur stage, I'm really just training to like make myself a better fighter. I'm
Hmm.
not focusing too much on the opponents.
Let's talk about you becoming a better fighter. As you're continuing to train, you're clearly going to get better. Talk about your training life. What's a week look like in the life of Scout Meyer?
Yep. Um, training pretty much every day. Where we go striking and then grappling, striking, grappling. So Mondays like boxing, Tuesdays wrestling, Wednesdays back to striking, like kind of like Dutch drills with kicking, switch kicks and stuff. Thursdays back to wrestling, and then Friday we do a sparring day. And then Saturday and Sunday we also train in the morning. So we do a MMA grappling rounds. So basically grappling with MMA gloves. You can like simulate punches and ground and pound. And then Sunday is probably my favorite day. We do boxing with 16-ounce gloves, but you can shoot takedowns. So
Mm.
it's great to work on like, feinting an overhand and you can grab a single or, something like that.
Geez, that's a busy week. Is there any aspect of fighting that you gravitate towards the most, that you enjoy doing the most? You said just the Sundays, but any like
Yeah.
aspect?
Yeah, like I I love boxing. I love feeling, something just go by and miss and then counter. Uh I think it's to me I think nothing beats a clean knockout.
Mm.
You lead hand, power hand, doesn't matter. Yeah, boxing is probably my favorite. But then again, there's a wrestling like when you wrestle someone and you out cardio them and just they're dead and you still have energy. That's also a
Mhm.
really good feeling.
Yeah. I had a talk with somebody else yesterday, the day before, and I don't remember who, but I talked about how like people who don't train or don't fight will never truly comprehend the absolute suckiness of when you gas out, either in training or in a fight, right? There's nothing in the world worse. So to know that you've got that cardio in your bank is got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, for sure. I think cardio is one of the biggest things. Like even if you know like two or three basic moves, right? If you don't gas out and the other guy knows everything but he gasses out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
yeah, you have to be in great shape always.
This fight in the Dominican will be the eighth of your amateur career. How much longer is this going to go? Are you considering going professional at some point?
Yeah, so my coach wants me to get 10 amateur wins. So we've got this one coming up. There's a card for Unified. It's a Pro Am card. Looking like we're going to get that fight. We'll see. We got an opponent, but we just got to see if he accepts.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe the tournament in the fall that I don't know, Scott Heathcote, my teammate, he
That's
just
right.
went pro. He did that
World
tournament
champion.
and he actually won. He's world champion, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm looking to do the same.
Who are some of your main training partners at Thicc Boy?
Yeah, right now, well, Scott's in Brazil, so he's not there. But when he is, he's great. Right now, I train a lot with Donovan, Artaj, Dima, Little Dima. Yeah, there's so many. Phil, a great wrestler we have. Max, he's really good boxer. Um, yeah, different guys are great for different things.
Yeah, of course. And you have a brother that fights too, don't you?
Yes, yep. My little brother's great. He's a really good grappler. He learns quick, faster than me.
And what's his name? I'm sorry.
North, North.
North.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
knew that at some point. Okay, Scout.
He's looking to get another fight soon too.
That's good, and it's important to sort of to pace yourself appropriately. And by pace yourself, I don't mean go really slow. I just mean make sure that you have the appropriate amount of time of time between fights and give yourself time to rest and grow as a fighter. Because,
Mhm.
if you go in there and fight every week, sure, you can get the experience, but you're not really improving as a fighter in that week.
Yeah, I'm trying to fight as much as I can, but still always win. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trading losses for just experience. I'm trying to
Yeah.
win every time, be prepared every time.
Okay, Scout, I thought this was a great conversation, but before we go, I'm wondering, is there anything that you think we should have talked about that I didn't ask?
Um, I guess just my support from home, like my
Mm.
parents, all my siblings come from a big family. Everyone supports me. Yeah, friends and family. It's really great to have everyone's support. It just it without that, it would be a lot more difficult.
100%. That's one thing I actually could have asked that, so I'm glad you mentioned it. Whenever I've seen you fight in person, distinctly remember the huge support system you had there. Your dad's there, very loud and proud, right in front, a whole bunch of people. And in fact, at the last Thicc Boy, number 9, when I go in the cage at the end of every fight to take a picture of the winner and their fight teams, most of the time it's the fighter and maybe 2 or 3 cornerman coaches. With you in the main event, yet you won the main event, like you came in and then just they didn't stop. They just kept piling in. It took like a good 5 or 6 minutes to corral them all. There must have been 40 people in there with you.
Yeah, yeah, that's the advantage to winning the main event. You know, there's nothing after, so everyone can come in the cage and get a photo. It's great. It feels good to make the team proud too. You know,
Mhm.
when you're the main event, there's a little bit more pressure to win because the whole team's waiting for that fight that night. So to win, it's like I'm winning, but also the team's winning. You know, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's a good feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Scout, once again, this was fantastic. Thanks again for speaking with us. And fight friends, there you go. Scout Meyer, currently 6-1, hopefully 7-1 as an amateur very shortly, fighting for the lightweight championship at Dominican Fight Club in Dominican Republic. Thanks, Scout.